In the meantime, the border games continue right now, despite the fact that, of course, the extreme majority of Australians, well, they understand what the consequences are of getting the jab, or if you can get the exemption if you are legitimately allergic to the vaccine. Opinion polls that you would have read in the past couple of days, they've made it very clear that Australians want to be able to travel to their own country. They want to do that after taking the safety step of getting the vaccine. They're even supportive of the idea that I know a lot of you disagree with, certainly Corey Bernardi will a bit later in the show. Vaccine passports, 65% of people support those. And now the federal government has started to say, at a point in time, you're not going to be able to hide behind the part of the Constitution that allows states to declare emergencies to keep their borders up. If the national agreement is at 70 and 80%, then that excuse will crumble, whoever takes it to the High Court. Here in part is some of the reaction, including from, of course, the Emperor in Western Australia.
Look, I don't know why the federal government's doing this. Why are they doing this? What's gotten into them? We had a High Court challenge last year and we won easily against Clive Palmer and the Liberal Party. If they want to bring on round two, let them. West Australians don't want me to bring it down now, to give in to this sort of crazy bullying by the federal government and infect our population.
No, the national agreement of 70 and 80%, because zero COVID is not an option. Will there be COVID at 70 and 80%? Yes. Just like there was the flu, just like there was a whole bunch of other communicable diseases. But hopefully, our hospital systems will be able to hold up to it, but you know in Western Australia your hospital system can't, because that bloke who's been in power for 4.5 years wants to pretend that it's everyone else's responsibility. It's his. It's up to him to make sure that the system can take it, because Australians have the right to see their fellow Australians, no matter how nervous you have been made by your 6 p.m. news and by your local premier. Of course, in Queensland, well, they turn it up to 13 today. These people are getting desperate, and the facts are nowhere near their side.
The peak is not going to be until October, Mr Speaker, and if you want to see a health system on the verge of collapse, Mr Speaker, you will see that in October, Mr Speaker, and I don't want that here. I don't want to see our hospitals overrun with COVID patients, Mr Speaker, that we're seeing in other parts of the world. I don't want to have to be standing up telling families that they've lost their loved ones, Mr Speaker.
And she found a new gear even higher than that. And even her most ardent supporters must say, OK, now you're kidding. Now you're taking it too far. She went as low as you could possibly go, invoking people's children today.
We are not here in Queensland in a cave. The LNP and the Prime Minister for Sydney might want us to open our borders and let the virus in. He might want us to deliberately infect Queenslanders, our young people who can't have a vaccine.
You open up this state and you let the virus in here, and every child under 12 is vulnerable. Every single child, if anyone has any children under 12 to 0, is vulnerable because they are the unvaccinated, Mr Speaker.
She is disgusting. Her politics couldn't be lower. If people fall for this, I don't care anymore.